Making headlines, President Muiz assures that the Maldives will remain committed to strengthening the strategic partnership with India. The President extends warm congratulations to Australia's Governor and Prime Minister in celebration of Australia Day. And the Maldivian Foreign Minister notes that as the largest democracy in the world, India continues to inspire the world. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome to PSM News in English. I'm Udma Mahmoud, your host for the evening. Looking into the details, President Dr. Mohammad Muiz assures that the Maldives will remain committed to strengthening the strategic partnership with India to address common challenges and work for the mutual benefit of its people. President Dr. Muiz on X conveyed his best wishes to the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, and President Draupadi Murmu on the occasion of the 76th Republic Day of India. In his post, the President said Maldives will always cherish the strong bonds of friendship and cooperation shared with India, which is built on mutual trust, respect, and understanding, which he said have withstood the test of time. The President conveyed that he is committed to strengthening the strategic partnership between the countries to address common challenges and work for the mutual benefit of the people of both the nations. The Republic Day of India is celebrated every January 26th. The Maldives and India established diplomatic relations on 26 July 1965. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz extends his warm congratulations to Australia's Governor-General Samantha Joy Mostyn AC and Prime Minister Anthony Albanese in celebration of Australia Day. In separate letters to Australia's leaders, President Dr. Muiz extended heartfelt greetings and best wishes from the Maldivian government and its people to the Australian leadership and populace on this notable day. President Dr. Muiz extended his heartfelt gratitude to the Governor-General and Prime Minister of Australia's ongoing support and collaboration in advancing the development of the Maldives with a focus on maritime security and climate change. This message was reiterated in a statement from the President's office. The President underscored the Maldives' dedication to fortifying bilateral relations with Australia, as noted in the statement issued by the President's office. President Dr. Muiz also conveyed his sincere wishes for the good health and well-being of the Governor-General and Prime Minister and for the peace, prosperity and progress of the Australian people. President Dr. Muiz also marked Australia Day with a message on his official X account, which read that the Maldives deeply cherishes its long-standing friendship with Australia and Australia's continuous assistance and cooperation. He expressed confidence that the close ties between the Maldives and Australia will continue to flourish in the years to come. Australia Day is observed each year on 26th January. The Maldives and Australia formalized diplomatic relations on 25th January 1974. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz appoints 2 members to the Elections Commission of Maldives (ECM). The President had nominated Muhammad Zahid and Abdul Rahman Salah Rashid to the 2 vacant membership positions on the Electoral Watchdog in December last year. The 2 posts were vacated after the Parliament passed to dismiss ECM Vice President Ali Nashat and member Muhammad Asif following widespread allegations of corruption and abuse of power. The nomination of Zahid and Salah were approved by the Parliament during an extraordinary sitting on 15th January. Prior to issuing the letter of appointment, the oath of office was administered to Zahid and Abdul Rahman Salah Rashid by the Supreme Court Justice Mahaz Ali Zahir at a ceremony held at the President's office on Sunday. The vacancies of the 5-member ECM have now been filled with the appointment of the 2. However, under the recent amendment to the Elections Commission Act, President Dr. Muiz still needs to appoint the President and Vice President of the ECM out of the 5 members. Once the President picks the duo to lead ECM, the nominations will then proceed to Parliament approval. President Dr. Mohammad Muiz appoints 2 members to the Anti-Corruption Commission (ACC) following the approval of the duo by the Parliament. The President nominated Ahmad Nashid and Abdullah Nashid for the 2 vacant positions at ACC and submitted the nominations for parliamentary approval. During an extraordinary sitting on Monday, the Parliament approved both nominations by a majority of the members participating in separate votes. Ahmad Nasheed previously served as a member of the Police Board and a former Assistant Commissioner of Police. Abdullah Nasheed holds a Master of Education School Management from the Regional Institute of Education of India and had served in senior capacities at Arsan the Company Limited, which manages the country's universal health insurance scheme. The newly appointed members took their oath as members of the ACC during a ceremony held at the President's office in the presence of Supreme Court Justice Mahaz Ali Zahir. The two membership positions at the ACC were vacated after ACC Vice President Abdul Salam and member Toha Mohammad resigned amid serious allegations of corruption and abuse of power. President Dr. Mohammad Moise insists that clean energy is instrumental to protecting Maldives and the planet. The President made these remarks in a message on social media platform X to mark the International Day of Clean Energy, celebrated on 26 January annually. Taking to social media, President Moise highlighted that Maldives, to lead by example, has set an ambitious target to generate 33% of its electricity through renewable sources by the year 2028. The President, in an official message, insisted that as a low-lying island nation, acutely vulnerable to climate change, investing in renewable energy sources is a vital commitment for the future of the Maldives. He also noted that Maldives has made great strides in advancing renewable energy, particularly through solar power initiatives. He said that the Energy Act and the roadmap for the energy sector outline the nation's plan to ensure that energy supply is sufficient, reliable, sustainable, secure, and affordable. According to the President, Maldives' private sector has demonstrated its commitment through investments in renewable energy, adding that such efforts not only contribute to global climate goals but also bolster the country's energy security and economic resilience. Under President Moise's ambitious renewable energy initiative, his administration has increased the country's renewable energy capacity from 53 megawatts to 70 megawatts in its first year. Maldives' Minister of Foreign Affairs Dr. Abdullah Halil notes that as the largest democracy in the world, India continues to inspire the world and offers a profound example of how democracy can be a catalyst for peace, stability, and progress. On the occasion of the Republic Day of India, Minister Halil sent a message of felicitations to the Minister of External Affairs of India, Dr. S. Jaishankar. In his message, the minister said that India continues to inspire the Maldives in its commitment to uphold democratic institutions and principles. He also said the strong and enduring friendship between the Maldives and India is reflected in the numerous acts of goodwill, assistance, and steadfast support extended by the Government of India. The minister added that India's unwavering role as the Maldives' first responder during times of need underscores the depth of the historic relationship between the two nations. The Republic Day of India is celebrated every January 26th. The Maldives and India established diplomatic relations on 26 July 1965. Prosecutor General Abbas Sharif issues a directive to the Anti-Corruption Commission ACC, urging the agency to accelerate its criminal investigations. The Prosecutor General's Office has directed the Anti-Corruption Commission ACC to expedite its criminal investigation due to rising complaints about delays. Slow progress in key cases such as the MMPRC scandal, COVID-19 fund embezzlement, and corruption in state-owned enterprises has hindered the recovery of lost funds and harmed public welfare. PG Sharif's directive, based on constitutional authority, calls for prioritizing these investigations and ensuring efficiency. The directive also mandates early advisory input from the PG office to ensure smooth execution and consistency across investigation processes with immediate enforcement by the ACC. The Maldives' two primary economic sectors, tourism and fisheries, witnessed significant advancements. Official data indicate a notable uptick in disbursements to fishermen alongside a significant surge in tourist arrivals. Tourism Ministry data revealed that the number of tourist arrivals last week surpassed those of the preceding week. A total of 51,891 tourists visited the Maldives, up from 47,979 the prior week, reflecting an 8.2% increase. As of 25th January, the Maldives has welcomed 169,423 tourists this year. China leads as the top source market, contributing 23,186 visitors, followed by Russia with 18,651 tourists. Other prominent source markets include Italy with 16,614 visitors, the United Kingdom with 15,030 tourists, and Germany with 9,931 visitors. In the fisheries sector, the Maldives Industrial Fisheries Company, MIFCO, announced a substantial disbursement of payments to fishermen over the past week. MIFCO reported paying approximately $1.73 million to fishermen for the catch sold to the state-owned fish processing company, accounting for 2,147 metric tons of fish sold by 450 fishing vessels. The previous week, MIFCO disbursed over $1.23 million to fishermen. The company is now endeavoring to settle all payments within 48 hours of purchasing the fish, honoring an electoral pledge by President Dr. Mohamed Muiz. As US President Donald Trump moves imposing 25% duties on imports from Canada and Mexico on February 1st, focus has shifted to the sectors likely to bear the brunt of the tariffs. On his first day in office, President Donald Trump threatened to impose a 25% tariff on imports from Canada and Mexico unless they took stronger action against drugs, especially fentanyl and border crossings. This move could potentially violate existing free trade agreements. Trump also warned the European Union of tariffs and discussed a possible 10% duty on Chinese imports, accusing Beijing of facilitating the flow of fentanyl into the US through Canada and Mexico. Though he did not immediately implement these tariffs, Trump reaffirmed his broader strategy of imposing duties, setting a February 1st deadline for the tariffs on Canada, Mexico, China, and the EU. He criticized the EU and other countries for having trade surpluses with the US. In response, Mexico and Canada expressed a willingness to engage with the US, while China indicated it was open to discussions to manage trade differences. Trump signed a trade memorandum on January 20th, ordering a review of various trade issues, including trade deficits, unfair practices, and currency manipulation. He called for recommendations on remedies, including a global supplemental tariff and changes to the $800 de minimis duty-free exemption, which has been blamed for illicit imports of fentanyl chemicals. This review process provides time for Trump's cabinet to resolve disagreements over how to approach his proposed universal tariffs, including up to 60% duties on Chinese goods. President Donald Trump takes bold steps to reshape U.S. cryptocurrency policy, creating a working group to propose new regulations and protect banking access for crypto firms, while also banning a central bank digital currency. President Donald Trump has ordered the creation of a cryptocurrency working group to propose new regulations and explore a national crypto stockpile. The move also includes protection for banking services for crypto firms, addressing concerns that regulators were blocking crypto companies from banking access. Trump's order bans the creation of a U.S. central bank digital currency, which could compete with existing cryptocurrencies. In a separate move, the SEC rescinded costly accounting rules for companies holding crypto assets, a decision welcomed by the industry. Trump's stance contrasts sharply with former President Biden's approach, with Biden's administration cracking down on exchanges like Coinbase to protect against fraud and money laundering. Bitcoin surged to a new high of $109,071 in January amid excitement over Trump's crypto-friendly policy, though it settled around $103,000 later in the week. Nearly 30% of Syrian refugees in the Middle East are now considering returning home within the next year, a significant increase following the fall of President Bashar al-Assad, The head of the United Nations UN's refugee agency, Filippo Grandi, said that almost 30% of the millions of Syrian refugees living in Middle Eastern countries want to return home in the next year, following the fall of President Bashar al-Assad, up from almost none last year. The shift is based on an assessment done by the UN in January, weeks after Assad was ousted by Islamist rebels, bringing an abrupt end to a 13-year civil war that had created one of the biggest refugee crises of modern times. Grandi said in an interview in Damascus that the UN had already seen a lot of people going back since the 8th of December.
We have seen the needle move finally after years of decline. Up to November or the summer, let's say last year, the number of people, the percentage of people according to our surveys that said we want to go back in the next 12 months was almost zero. It had reached almost zero. It's now nearly 30% in the space of a few weeks.
Syrian rebels seized the capital Damascus unopposed on December 8 after a lightning advance that sent President Bashar al-Assad fleeing to Russia after a 13-year civil war and 6 decades of his family's autocratic rule. Around 200,000 Syrian refugees have already returned since Assad fell, in addition to around 300,000 who fled back to Syria from Lebanon during the Hezbollah-Israel war in September and October, most of whom are thought to have stayed. Syria's civil war has left many of its major cities in ruins, services decrepit, and the vast majority of the population living in poverty. Grandi said sanctions should be reconsidered. He also said refugees were responding to a political process that the new administration's leader, Ahmad Shara, has committed to, aimed at producing a governing authority by March 1st that better represents Syria's diversity. Kristi Noem has been confirmed by the U.S. Senate as President Donald Trump's Homeland Security Secretary, solidifying her role in implementing his tough immigration policies. Kristi Noem was confirmed by the U.S. Senate as President Donald Trump's Homeland Security Secretary on Saturday, putting into position a key member of the Republicans' cabinet as he launches a wide-ranging immigration crackdown. Noem, who was governor of South Dakota, shares Trump's hardline immigration views and called illegal immigration an invasion during a confirmation hearing earlier this month. She was confirmed by a vote of 59 to 34 in the Republican-led Senate.
The yeas are 59, the nays are 34. The nomination is confirmed.
Trump recaptured the White House, promising to deport record numbers of immigrants in the U.S., illegally criticizing Democratic former President Joe Biden for high levels of illegal immigration during his presidency. Trump issued an array of executive orders after taking office on January 20th that aim to tighten border security and power his deportation drive, and has rolled out a raft of restrictive policies. Noem will take over the 260,000-employee U.S. Department of Homeland Security, which oversees border security, deportations, and legal immigration paperwork, as well as emergency response, cybersecurity, and the U.S. Coast Guard and Secret Service. Carlo Ancelotti reaffirms that Vinicius Jr. is committed to making history at Real Madrid, despite rumors linking the Brazilian star with the move to Saudi Arabia. Real Madrid coach Carlo Ancelotti said the Brazilian star Vinicius Jr. wants to make history at the club after media claims that he could move to Saudi Arabia. Ancelotti explained that based on his direct conversations with Vinicius, the player is happy at the club and is focused on achieving great things with Real Madrid. He also pointed out that Vinicius Jr. had played a key role in their recent success, reminding reporters they have forgotten that with Vinicius, they have won the Champions League in Paris and in London. Real Madrid, who are currently top of La Liga with 49 points, 4 ahead of second-placed Atletico Madrid, had extended their lead on top of the La Liga standings on Saturday after a 3-0 win at the bottom club Real Valladolid. They are followed by Barcelona and Athletic Bilbao level on 39 points both with the game in hand. Jaden Daniels and the underdog Washington Commanders are one win away from the Super Bowl, set to face off against the Philadelphia Eagles in a high-stakes NFC Championship clash. Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders are one win away from the Super Bowl. They won their first meeting 26-18 on November 14, but early. The Commanders are on a historic playoff run with Detroit. Washington's impressive turnaround under Daniels has been key to this first conference championship since 1991, looking for a third straight upset as the number 6 seed. Daniels, the number 2 pick in the 2024 draft, could become the first rookie quarterback to win 3 postseason games. He is up against a tough Eagles defense led by All-Pro tackle Jalen Carter, who had a game-changing performance against the Rams last week. Washington's formula for success has been a strong defense and 0 turnovers, leading the playoffs with 34 points per game and dominating time of possession with a playoff high 142 offensive plays. Meanwhile, Philadelphia, hosting its first ever 3 playoff rounds, is looking for its third NFC title in 8 years. The Eagles have a 4-4 record in NFC Championship games since 1970, but Washington will look to continue its magical run and spoil their hopes for a Super Bowl berth. A trendy pizzeria in the English city of Norwich declares war on pineapples, charging an eye-watering £100 equal to $123 for a Hawaiian in a bid to put customers off the topping. Lupa Pizza recently added pizza topped with ham and pineapple to its account on a food delivery app, writing in the description, "Yeah, for £100 you can have it."
Well, so myself, Quinn and Felix, who are all co-owners here at Lupa, we very much, I would say vehemently dislike pineapple on pizza. I mean, we feel like it doesn't suit pizza at all, and we're not really sure why it's a thing. Obviously, there's lots of people who do like it, and we have had requests for it in the past. So we thought if people really, really want it, then they should stick their hands in their pockets and fork out £100 for it.
The other co-owner, head chef Gianora, said they kept tinned pineapple at the restaurant in case someone ordered it, but this had yet to happen.
Well, we have a security jar, which is locked away, far, far away, of tinned pineapple if someone does order the £100 pizza, and we haven't sold any yet for obvious reasons.
As pizza has become popular globally, foreign innovations and toppings have often left Italians perplexed and aghast. A January 2024 survey by British polling and research company YouGov showed that over 50% of Britons either love or like pineapple on pizza, 16% disliked it, and nearly 20% hated it.
So a few weeks ago, we thought it'd be funny to put a £100 Hawaiian pizza up on our delivery menu. This was just a joke to begin with, but then it got picked up by our local rag, and it's sort of snowballed into an international news story, which has obviously been incredible for us, but you know, very humbling at the same time.
Some well-known British personalities have weighed in on the debate, with former politician Ed Balls saying pineapple on pizza was an appalling idea. Hawaiian lovers took to Lupa's social media in defense of the topping, with the users saying pineapple on pizza is life.
Hopefully somebody buys one. That'd be great. But if they do, you know, it'll be worth their time. It won't just be £100 for a pizza. There'll be goodies included.
And they said Lupa's war on pineapple was a great bit of harmless marketing. At the Norwich Pizzeria, customers were also divided. That's it for now. Thank you for watching. Have a pleasant day ahead. Bye-bye.
बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम अस्सलाम वालेकुम PSM न्यूज़ के दुनिया के खड़ी प्रोग्राम बदलवंते बे और यहाँ पे फुनविस मरहबा दंडवंग खड़ी के में प्रोग्राम आए के ते बे फुना में बदल को ले अड़गुना मत नस्लेना खड़ी के में प्रोग्राम का अड़गुन में एतोर तफसील ते बे फुना हिस्सा कुरानी गज़ाएंगे हम के खास हरकत इस्लामिक